Welcome to YouTube Pedia. Discover the greatest stories from history, science, and beyond. If you're curious about the world, subscribe now and join our journey through knowledge. Let's get started. Nelson Mandela, the man, the myth, the mystery. Nelson Mandela was more than just a leader. He was a symbol of resistance, a force of unbreakable will, and a man whose life was filled with mystery, sacrifice, and an unwavering commitment to justice. But beyond the public image of a revolutionary and a peacemaker, there lie untold stories, hidden struggles, and a life marked by extraordinary events that few truly understand. The making of a legend. Born in 1918 in the small village of Mvezo, South Africa, Rolihlahla Mandela was destined for greatness. From an early age, he was exposed to the injustices of the apartheid system, a brutal regime that stripped black South Africans of their rights. Though he was born into a royal lineage of the Thembu people, he was not exempt from the oppression that loomed over his people. It was at university that he first became involved in the fight for equality, and from that moment, his path was set. He would dedicate his life to the liberation of South Africa. The Secret Revolution. Mandela's early activism led him to the African National Congress, ANC, where he quickly became a key figure in the resistance against apartheid. But what many don't know is that his transformation from a peaceful activist to a revolutionary leader was not immediate. It was a shift born out of frustration and necessity. In the 1960s, after years of nonviolent protest failed to bring change, Mandela co-founded Umkhonto we Sizwe, the armed wing of the ANC, choosing to embrace sabotage as a means of resistance. For years, he lived a life shrouded in secrecy, disguising himself as a chauffeur, slipping through the streets of Johannesburg to evade capture. His covert operations, hidden safe houses, and underground meetings made him South Africa's most wanted man. But in 1962, his luck ran out. Arrested and sentenced to life in prison, it seemed that his fight for justice had come to a crushing end. The prisoner who became a legend. Mandela spent 27 years behind bars, the majority of which were on the infamous Robben Island, a remote prison surrounded by icy waters. But even in captivity, he was a threat to the apartheid regime. Guards feared him, fellow prisoners revered him, and his legend only grew with each passing year. They tried to break him, but they failed. Mandela secretly wrote his autobiography, smuggling the pages out with fellow inmates. He maintained his resolve, refusing to compromise his beliefs in exchange for an early release. There were whispers of secret negotiations, hidden deals, and unseen forces at play behind his eventual release in 1990. Was his freedom simply the result of international pressure, or was there something more, a clandestine agreement with those in power? Some believe Mandela's release was part of a larger, carefully orchestrated plan to control the transition of power in South Africa. The first black president, but at what cost? In 1994, Nelson Mandela made history by becoming South Africa's first black president. It was a moment that symbolized hope, unity, and a new future. But behind the smiles and celebrations, political turmoil brewed. His leadership was tested by deep racial tensions, economic instability, and opposition from both white extremists and radical factions within the ANC. Some claim that Mandela made secret agreements with the white elite to prevent economic collapse, effectively leaving wealth and power in the hands of those who had supported apartheid. Did he truly achieve freedom for all South Africans, or was he forced into a compromise that kept the real power structure intact? The Mandela effect, a glitch in history. One of the most bizarre mysteries surrounding Nelson Mandela is the phenomenon known as the Mandela effect, a collective false memory in which thousands of people around the world vividly remember Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s, rather than being released in 1990. Some believe this is proof of alternate realities or glitches in history. Is it simply a case of mass misremembering, or is there something deeper at play? The final years, truth or illusion. Mandela retired from public life in 1999, but even in his final years, controversy surrounded him. In his later appearances, some claimed he did not look or sound the same, fueling conspiracy theories that a double had replaced him to maintain political stability. Was Mandela truly present in his last years, or was his image carefully managed to prevent upheaval? Legacy of a mystery. Nelson Mandela's life was one of extraordinary courage, sacrifice, and leadership. But behind the official story lies a web of secrets, untold struggles, and unanswered questions. His journey from prisoner to president is one of the most remarkable transformations in history, but the true depth of his influence and the forces that shaped his path remain a mystery. Was Mandela the architect of his destiny, or was he a pawn in a much larger game? His legacy lives on, but the secrets of his life may never be fully revealed.